Yeah, I have with us Amit Rathod from San Francisco area, Bay Area.
Oh,
Hey, good to
okay.
meet
Hi
Dennis.
there. Hi, you as well. You're up and early, starting your day, huh?
It's actually 8 a.m., which means I've already gone through 3 hours of calls.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad I don't get up early to do all that, but I guess someone has to.
Well, I used to be, quite the opposite. I used to be, usually up till like 2, and then get up at like no earlier than like 8,
Right, right.
because
Yes, I realize for those living in India, dealing with the U.S., their days probably are more
Correct.
afternoon and evening. So,
And
yeah, so I am in here in San Mateo, and I just figured I'll work, from like I get up at 4:30, and then I start 5 a.m. calls,
oh,
and I finish much of my stuff by around 5, and it's back to back, so it's like almost 10-12 hours of stuff, and then
uh,
I hang
I
out
feel
with
you.
the kids and family and all that, and then have a couple of calls before going to bed.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I can certainly understand. I don't do that many calls, but I myself work 10 to 16-hour days every
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
no
I bet
breaks.
I can guarantee that you don't consider it work either, though.
No, I don't. But it'll be nice. My site, just a little bit for you, admit.
Yeah.
I'll be brief. Is I started the one of the first LGBTQ, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer professional groups on LinkedIn. Coming up in April will be 13 years ago,
Okay. Wow.
and I have 46.7 thousand global members and in the LinkedIn group. And about it 2.5 years ago, I started, pondering because for many years people were like, "Oh, you need to start a website. You need to start a website." Like the world doesn't need another LGBT website. I just didn't have, and I was traveling. I was consulting for Fortune 100 and government in my past, and so I just didn't have the bandwidth to really consider it. Um, but 2.5 years ago, I started pondering, where is there a real gap and where is there a real need? And I'm a prior software product manager, so Scrum Master. I'm sure you know that
I
term. So
actually was certified Scrum Master at one point in life.
yes, so yeah, my certification has probably lapsed, but I have been a software product manager for the space that I used to consult in, and so I sat. After a 17-year divorce and remodeling the house, the year after that, the last few months prior to me putting it on the market to sell, I'd take my breaks from working on the house and sit in the living room on the floor meditating for about an hour a day. And I had all my Scrum tools and my post-it notes and colored markers, and just started contemplating on where there's a real need. And so, long story short, is I came up with a very targeted approach that is absolutely unique in the world, which is freaking hard to do, right? But so Out Bureau, and Bureau means office in German, and I've lived in Germany for almost 6 years, and it's like Glassdoor.com and LinkedIn met at a party, fell in love, and had a queer baby. So it's where LGBTQ employees and anyone, unless they're cute, single, and in my area, there's no way for me to validate that they're gay, right? So so it's open really to all employees, but with a focus on the LGBTQ experience. And
Mhm.
so they do have to prove to provide some level of proof that they actually are or were a recent employee. So that actually is different than Glassdoor.com, which does not require that. And then they can rate their experience, and it's a broad because I took all of the I looked at all of the players out there and mashed up and took from each things that I liked. So it's more than just have you been discriminated against. And of course that could go
Right.
for any person of any minority status. This would be applicable. But you know, have you been discriminated against? Have you been harassed? But it goes into broader things. You know, do you feel the meetings are effective? How happy are you to go to work every day? So general things too. And there's also the ability for businesses to have customer ratings. So someone like a Verizon Mobile could have their employee ratings as well as their customer ratings to provide a 360 view.
Yeah.
Then there is the community side of the house, which is very much like a LinkedIn with an activity stream, groups, professional profile, and so forth. And so the whole idea is to further build and support a network supporting the professional side of life of the people who identify as LGBTQ or allies and so forth. And you know, in that is, you know, I do want to, you know, constantly be open to new ideas, new. Mine is what will bring value to the site users and drive continual traffic.
Yeah.
So my first year, I was the two sides of the house are developed by two different people, two different groups, and all of not now last year 2020, but in 2019 on the rating side of the house, I was dealing with some folks out of Japan. And as soon as my community side came up, there were just technical issues that should not have been technical issues that caused people not to be able to register and log in. Well, that's a huge problem.
Right.
And of course, you know, developers, they love pointing fingers at each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I ran a development team, and my husband of 17 years is a developer. So I know the developer mindset.
Right.
So they
Yes,
love pointing
very
fingers.
true.
And it actually took me getting down into the code and the database, and I'm the one who figured it out. So, and I'm not a developer. And, but through trial and error, very painstaking, but that basically blew my 2019 completely away. And so I replaced that side of the house about this time last year. Took a couple months to configure and get right. And so the site really hard launched in April.
Okay.
Well, then of course we all know what happened in April.
Right.
So companies have been very slow to open their pocketbooks for new projects. So now I'm going on 2 years
Mm-hmm.
with no revenue.
Okay.
So very difficult. I've put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this so far, and I've not yet made a dime.
Mm.
So I've got good conversations going, but they're like, well, you know, we need to wait and see, you know, how this COVID thing is going. You know, we're not putting, you know, still new money or additional money into new things. So that's been a challenge. But just sharing that with you, I'm sure, you know, being an entrepreneur yourself, you've
Trust me, I'm well aware.
yeah, and this isn't my first thing, but this is my first online. I've owned a consulting practice in that past life, and I've owned a few small local businesses as well. But this is really a passion, and building on the now 13 years of my group on LinkedIn. So, you know, I know how to moderate a community, I know how to build a community, but unfortunately, I don't have the $3 million marketing budget to go, bam, you know, make a huge splash in all the media and so forth. So I started doing interviews about 7 months ago now. I've got 53 episodes out now, and that's starting to get some interest and attraction. So and there, of course, I get the video content, I get the audio content because I'm on 14 podcasting apps. and I just got picked up by an LGBTQ on demand television network. So my episodes are slowly starting to get released there. And yeah, so, and all that is to drive, across all those now 16 plus apps beyond Out Bureau is to, have visibility, keyword density for SEO search and so forth. But just giving you a little bit of history so you know where I'm at.
Yeah, that's very helpful, actually.
Very important.
Yeah. So, like right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the funds to invest in anything else
Yeah.
until I can secure my own basic living expenses, being quite honest with you.
Yeah, I hear you.
So yeah, but as I tell folks, and I'm not looking for venture capital. I've been burnt by venture capital folks in the past, but a couple of the big questions that a venture capitalist will want to look at for any kind of business is, one, is this a niche? Yes, it's a niche. Is there a need? Yes, there's a need. Is there a demand? Yeah, there will be a demand, and there's other companies like Fairy Godboss, who does it for females only, who just raised $10 million earlier this year. They have 16 employees. So, I'm taking a proven business model and just niching down on it, which is very good. Does the entrepreneur do this as a part-time hobby or full-time? It's full-time, 10 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Has the entrepreneur invested even potentially his life savings into this project? Does he believe in it that much? Absolutely. Done it. Been there. Look at my bank account. You'll be shocked. So it hits on all the key markers.
Yeah.
But it's still, getting that traction and getting the there's interest, but
Dennis,
the walls.
this is really exciting, actually, to be honest with you. So first of all, let me say Awake VC does not stand for venture capital, as you might have already gone to the website. I don't know if you did or not.
Yes, I did.
And I don't know if you read anything much,
Yes.
or did you do any research on it?
I did some. I've been in rolling out some new features the last 2 weeks, so I've been a little absorbed.
Okay, so let me.
I did do a quick look at it and a quick few reads.
So I will give you a demo today, but really the technology is free. First of all, I've been in the internet platform space for like the last 15 years, and I've made a lot of money for big tech. These guys here in the Valley that I've really sort of, the AI that you might have seen Netflix's Social Dilemma, the movie.
Yes.
You've seen it. Okay. So if you watched it, then I'm not the guy that did a lot of the Facebook AI, but a lot of my AI is making people buy more, converting people to buy more stuff online, taking conversion rates from 1% on average to call it 1.5% or 2 or 3%, which represents, 50% or 200 or 300% increase in sales, with a massive drop to the bottom line because there is no cost to these sales. So the entire, incremental goes to the bottom line, right?
I get it.
So we are a total cash flow driven business model. And I've done this for over the, so many years, where the technology engine basically drives revenues for everyone on the internet. And we take a small fee and everyone makes money together, right? And so over the years, if you see what Facebook and Google and Apple and, everyone else has done, Amazon, they're taking 30% minimum fees. DoorDash, Uber, Airbnb, they've all done the same, and on top of that, there are other fees. So they're taking almost 40% of every order. If you look at how much the customers are also paying for convenience. I mean, it's extraordinary. Okay. So this is basically like living in the matrix with the entire small business or even big business plugged in to these big tech companies, basically paying them 40-50% of their P&Ls, particularly the small ones, driving, transactions. And then you have your other costs, right? Is it any wonder that we are all screwed? So AI that we've built now, over the years, I've done this for big tech multiple times. I've built it for not Facebook as such, but even for the marketing clouds. We built our own, actually. We'll cross over 1 billion people on that cloud this year. This is our own media cloud. This is the company I started last year. I mean, last company that I started 6 years ago after I left Staples. So I sold my first company to Staples, the AI, and then I've done several of them over the years. Awake is a new technology that I'm building to reverse the effects of big tech. Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon, the internet companies, these are internet companies. And people don't really understand what that means. Internet, it's people have actually never seen the internet, right? It doesn't actually exist. You see? You only connect using a ISP or whatever, and then once you're connected with an IP network, you're able to access Facebook and Google and so on. The actual internet, which is underneath, like electricity, is never seen. It powers everything else, but you don't see the electricity itself. You deal with appliances, you turn on the lights, right? But you don't actually see the electricity. This internet, the underlying internetwork of networks, is where we make, like we tap this electricity directly. It's like, instead of going to every Facebook and Google and everyone else and saying, you know what, we need a better way to do business online, you guys are too much, we went straight to the internet, the source, the underlying force that drives bits and bytes across the internet. And we basically hijacked the cash flows that are moving across what is known as the internet when marketing and sales happen. What you're talking about, I don't have $3 million to drive sales. That cash flow today is flowing through Facebook, Google, etc., so that you can tell your story and others can, come to you and do your thing. This conversion usually is at 1%. You're paying $3 million. It's like you paid, 1% of that. Okay. And converted. It's literally, if conversion rate is 1%, that means you've only converted $30,000 worth of ad spend. You spent $3 million to get 1% worth of conversion. And perhaps if your rates are good and your leads are converting at 1%, $30,000 worth of conversion, maybe giving you $10 million in revenue. That's okay. But you spent $3 million. Right? Are you still there?
Yep.
Yeah. So this is where we fix it. This is where we fix the internet, because this is happening because of the walled garden. Facebook, Google, and everyone else don't share data about their users with us, the businesses that are trying to reach people. They won't share it. They will ask us to keep on adding to our marketing budget, keep on increasing the keywords and all that. And, it's a diminishing return. And everyone's doing the same thing. And they're doing this with everyone, right? So it's a cash cow for them. They have become worth literally trillions, while all the rest of the world, like you and me and everyone else who are spending our own money trying to get community going and all that, are screwed, right? So this is the power of the internet. And now with Awake, we are fixing the problem and are now enabling networks like our own. We have over 100 plus networks like Weed in the cannabis space and many others in various verticals, but also like Awake Mom, which is about moms, and working from home moms and just entrepreneurial moms, and like all these different people that we're connecting directly to each other over this new network, this new internet that we've created as a layer on top of the existing internet, like a virtual software network that just plugs on top and bolts on top of the existing internet with a single click. I'll show you now. And everyone starts to make money based on the sales that happen. Today, those sales and dollars are going to Facebook. We get that money back to the media platforms and the community platforms that actually have the people, like Out Bureau and others. Okay. And the money is significant. So I'm about to show you now with the demo really quickly. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that Sarah's wine video at all. No?
I
will send you.
Seen it. So far, if I'm not mistaken, I've only had one email that showed this meeting.
Okay, so
So
what I'm going to show you very quickly, Dennis, to start us off and use the rest of the 30 minutes we have, or about 40 minutes, wisely. This video, 3 minutes, will just play it on your end. Well, just wait, and it'll give us a good grounding for the system that we've built, and then I'll show you a live demo of how you can use it for yourself. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll wait here.
So Vimo.
It's right here in the chat, actually.
Oh, gotcha.
You muted yourself.
Yeah, I'm just waiting.
Yeah. Okay, carry on. You're on mute. What is the brand you're smoking? Amit, you're there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. The video is still going.
Yeah, we're just waiting, Shiva.
We have done a similar thing. We are closely working with Shiros. As I told you.
Just a minute, Shiva.
Okay.
Let him finish the video.
All right. So coming back. Well, at least your AI robot is cute.
Yeah. Right.
So we'll show you more AI. I think we can get you to check out our AI models as well, because we have some that don't need live action. You can actually create avatars from models, and then you can AI orchestrate them actually. All kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, that's the future. But here's the crux of it, right? The cash flows that move across the internet, almost 50% of this is spent in distribution. It's like electricity moving from one place to other, but getting lost in transmission. It's getting taken up by the very platforms that are meant to move this value across from one place to another. 40%, 50%, even more. Okay. So how do we fix this? What we have done is we have created this new layer that connects everyone, and any product anywhere can now be sold and promoted by anybody else in the world, and they make money. So let me show you very quickly a few of our networks, starting with our cannabis network, which is the first that we're going live with in the US. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so you should be able to see, this website. But even before I maybe walk there, you see there's this brand you might be familiar with. We use this a lot. It's called Goop. It's about a or a $4 billion property. This brand, and it was created by Gwyneth Paltrow. It's all about healthy living, this, that, and the other. And clean beauty and all that stuff. Expensive
Okay.
products broadly. As you can tell, they have quite a few products that are embedded inside this content. So this is called content-driven commerce. They did a really good job of it over the last 10 plus years. They're, like I said, $3 to $4 billion company. And you see this, just a very beautiful experience when you're just clicking around. You go to, say you go to beauty, and then you'll see this notion of read plus shop. This is their notion of what they call their read plus shop. It's this ethos they have where it's all about, information and, community and blah, blah, blah. And then you got all these products, right? $88 eyeshadow and stuff like that.
Holy shit.
Right? So that's just the least of it. You got like
$88 for eyeshadow. Wow.
$600 like creams and all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Gels and stuff. So anyway, they make a lot of money, $3 to $4 billion company, right? Now, they had a good time getting here. They would have spent tons of money. And of course, their P&L is heavy and they have a lot of cash flow burn and so on. So let me show you our networks. So here is a network for cannabis. Like I said, this is a network that we just went live with. It's in process of launching with about $1.1 billion worth of inventory from various top brands. Like, in California, of course, but also like, from New York and from Canada, like a bunch of brands like from Canopy Growth, the whole Martha Stewart portfolio. We have quite a few cool products. And this is as I said, as you can see, a community-driven media property where, again, most of it here is content. But as you see, there are products embedded, just like in the case of Goop. And if you go to, the shop, which is the core, let's say we pick up a brand, and say, there's content around here. You can see most of it is now switched to like commerce. Right. Now here's a page where you can buy something. All right. Just like a regular product page, you get this buy button, but you also get this uniquely new thing. Okay. And this is called I'll just zoom in. Okay. It's called the co-sell. Like you have co-working, co-living, you have now co-selling. And notice that this is a $130 product. And you're now able to earn, anyone can, up to $46 selling this product and promoting this product. And how do you do it? Anybody in your network, Dennis, or anywhere else, for example, if we enable, let's say OutBureau to have a market like this, and you can control it. And products, by the way, products come from everywhere else in the world. We don't have to bother. They get shipped by those people, right? And they get handled by those folks. The content comes from folks like people who are good at content, influencers and others. You, of course, get to curate it. So we are curating it, right? We're curating this. But anybody now can get to earn this. You click on it. All you do is share it. Okay? And these links are tracked across all the internet platforms. Because I've signed up here, I get this pop-up. If I wasn't signed up, it would let me sign up with Google, Facebook, the usual one-click thing. And then I do this, right? That's all you have to do. The only thing you have to do is to be logged into Awake. Just like you're logged into Facebook or Google or whatever, you're logged in to Awake, or in your case, you could be logged in to OutBureau. You can say to your folks, you're a member now. And the minute you're a member, you get to promote and make money on anything that they see, that they like and know they might have people interested. Now, if you're an influencer, you might send it on your Instagram or somewhere else. If you're a media company, you might put it on your media, stream. And now suddenly you're getting cash flow, 20, 30, 40% of the order value. It's not just this product, anything they buy. So this starts to flow through this, right? Now, let me show you how that works and how the configuration of that works. By the way, the buy, of course, is pretty normal. It just works like how it works in Goop. You do the normal thing and the share. So let me quickly show you the shop type engine, which powers this. And Awake has a bunch of tech companies that power other types of services on the internet, like money, where you earn the wallet, the where your money goes and sits and you can take it out, like a PayPal, and it's a
Gotcha.
global wallet. So this is sales happening all around the world. This is the video you just saw. So let me log in. Actually, I go to the beta site. Normally, if you can sign up here and it'll take you in, but I will go to the beta version so I can show you something. So when you log in, I've logged in as a vendor, but if you actually, when you sign up, you'll see three options. Like an Airbnb, all of us are travelers, right? And then some of us are hosts, Airbnb hosts. Like that, everyone in the world is now a co-seller. Some people are sellers or vendors, right? But everyone in the world now is a co-worker. We live with everyone on the planet, so we co-live actually with everybody, and then we are co-sellers. We, are on the internet. All these
Gotcha.
sellers on the internet require co-sellers so that they can help those sellers. And this is a global workforce, the global sales force that gets to make as much money as they want, to be as entrepreneurial as they want. In fact, co-selling is easy. If I just share on Instagram here and there, all those things, on Pinterest even, I can make money. I'll show you how that cash flow works.
Okay.
But I can upgrade myself to a network operator like Outbureau or Weed or Goop or anyone who wants to drive a network and coordinate all these co-sellers to make a lot more money, because it's a referral network that is set up so that everything works beautifully, organically, authentically, based on conversations that people have online. So let me log in first as a vendor. So let's say that I'm a vendor. I have a bunch of products like Adora Therapy and so on. So the way you pull products in, your network may have, out of the 46,000 people, there may be a lot of people who are selling products today online. And you simply tell them, we have a beautiful new way to market for them. It's free. They come in here, they add their Shopify account. Like if most people are on Shopify, one click, they add their Shopify account. It's all free, by the way, to use.
Okay.
So they log in, they connect this Shopify account. We pull in their inventory, keep it in live sync, just like Shopify, WooCommerce, a whole bunch of e-commerce platforms. And then what happens is their inventory.
So wait. So
Yeah.
did I just hear you say so they keep their primary shopping platform
That's correct.
up to date, like Shopify, and then this automatically syncs with that, so they don't have to manage their shop on this.
Correct.
Okay.
Cool. One click. Now this synchronizes in real time. See, we keep it in sync. So as they keep it, updated, and their catalog is working, they're shipping orders, they're updating, inventory, they're updating descriptions and pictures and all that stuff. We keep it in live sync. Now, anywhere here, I'll show you very quickly. You can turn off the products and stuff if you don't want them and stuff. So anyway, but
just
let me
out
show
of
you.
Curiosity, do you also happen to integrate with Teespring?
What is Teespring? Let me check.
Teespring is a on-demand product creation.
I see. Yeah, I will. I'll answer this question. Yes, we don't integrate with these guys yet, but there are many like them. Yes. So we will be integrating with not just all of them, but also the entire drop shipping catalog from everywhere in the world. By end of 2021, we will have over 10 million SKUs in the system, and by next year we'll have over 100 million. Because I've done this at scale like 3-4 times already. This is trivial, So let me finish. So let me show you the magic though. So here's the magic. So you go to this any of your your sellers, your vendors, your friends now on Outbureau, who are basically entrepreneurs or marketers or anything like that, want more sales. They come here and they say, you know what, I will be willing to offer 30% or 40% or whatever, like they are taking from me today, to you guys. All right. So that's all they need to do. They don't need to do anything else. This is further, they can tell us how they can split, I'll explain these levels in a second, but let's assume that 30% is all they're willing to give, just like Apple takes from them, even though, most people are giving us 40 to 50 because they are actually getting screwed like that out there. So, but they can put anything you want. You can put 20 if you like. So let's say you put 30%. Let me show you an order that comes through our system. Here's an order that came through, $100 for this, whatever this perfume is, right? And as you saw, $70 will go to your entrepreneur, whoever that was, okay? As they decided, 30 thing, yeah? The remaining 30 is split. These people on the internet, these could be your friends on Outbureau, or these could be people you don't know basically on the internet, who happen to on Twitter share your product and make $3.61 on this specific sale. And then similarly on Facebook and on any other website, this is just a random, example, but basically anywhere on the internet, you could have WhatsApped it, you could have put it on TikTok, anything you want, and they get paid based on the levels that you have set up as a network where the sale happened. So that if the sale happened on Weed, then that, and if the attribution was, let me go back for just a second. So if the attribution here, these are the levels, so here the level says, look, the introduction in Outbureau is the introducer for all your network, your entire network, your whole audience, 46,000. And as they come in, they have a network, that's them. So you'll be, this level for everything, every single sale that happens across everything that happens going forward. Okay. This is the intro. Then whoever does the work, the next person is the nudge, right? This is the nudge that they mean, because nobody buys in one click, right? People bounce around the internet, they go through the funnel, they go through the buying journey. So they, will eventually buy. So when they eventually do buy, we say, look, here's the last level, pay them 40% of available commission. So that's, 12% of the sale goes to them when they close it within 1 hour or 5 minutes. They've said you can change that. It's unlikely to close in 5. So make it 30 minutes. So if they, close the sale within 30 minutes of someone clicking, then they get the 12%. Otherwise, if it was within, say, 12 hours, let's make it, right? Or you can make it, 1 day or whatever, right? Or 2 days. And then you can make this maybe 12 hours, right? So what does that mean? It means if, actually, let's do this the other way. This should be 30, but I'll make this 2 days. So I'll explain in a second. So this is very flexible, as you can see, right? So what I'm saying here is, if the person is within 2 days of someone who had promoted it, that person should get paid 20% of the available commission, which is 6%. And if the person was within 12 hours, they get paid 30%, which is 15, whatever, there's 9%, right? So 6% to this guy, 9% to this guy, 12% goes here, and 3% goes here. All right, that's how this 30% is split. So if you go back here, you'll see the same typing of thing happening. And by the way, you may not have to pay all levels, because it may not happen that way. It may only happen that somebody clicked here and then went straight to you. So anyway, whatever's remaining goes to the anything that's remaining goes to the network. So Outbureau gets that also. And they also set some minimum. So you might say minimum 5%. So minimum 5% plus anything that remains comes to you of every single sale. Now, anything that happens outside of Outbureau, where we are driving stuff, right? Let me give you examples. This example, or even this one, which is actually closer to how it works out. Here, this referrer adjustment, this Adora Therapy brand was introduced to Awake by somebody. If that's you, you get almost 1% of every single sale. This is because you brought in the business. This is given to you by Awake. So Awake pays this out to you, not these guys. This is where the commissions go. This is where the profit share happens. Okay. It's always a 5% profit share, just like the referral is 5%. So you will get 5% of everything that your audience makes.
Oh, so because like I was actually asked like 3 weeks ago if Outbureau had a shopping system, because a person wanted to add all of their products to Outbureau. And so does that mean, so if I basically recruit a company that has products for sale, then I would always make, because I've introduced that to the Awake platform. Okay.
Not only on Outbureau, but anywhere else we monetize for them. So that's an across the internet referral. This 1% of what you're seeing approximately.
Gotcha.
So the minute you introduce us across the internet, you start to monetize. You've done so much work in the last 13 years to build this community, and you've spent money and time and effort. Now you can literally monetize it by bringing them into this opportunity, which they will then replicate, because it's an opportunity. Everyone makes 95% of what they do. 5% goes to the person that brought them in, which is a very reasonable thing, right? And the person like you who have 46,000, maybe even if 10% of them turn out to be, entrepreneurial and get going, that's 4,000 people that are, even if you're generating, call it, I mean, you do the math, it's just ridiculous, right? But this is why Facebook makes so much money.
Hmm.
Okay, and I'm talking 5%. They take like 40%. So I mean, forget about it, right? This is nothing. So we just getting started here. And I'm, Anonbinary is a brand. I'd love to get your input on it. I'd love for you to be an advisor. So there's a way in which these companies are being created in Awake. We'd love to have your help on this new brand that we're looking to launch. That's one thing. That's a separate piece. But we'd love to power Out Bureau and help you monetize this, whatever you're doing, because we can help you do that and offer this technology to not just you, but you can offer it to everyone. It's free to use, like I said, and we help.
Yeah, well, this is very interesting. Like I said, I know, and the reason I was asking for Teespring, because literally I just did an interview yesterday with a guy who we had our first initial call last week, and you know, he uses Teespring. He's creating, redesigning or recreating logos of gay and lesbian bars that are no longer in business. So what's cool is there's a market because people have had, in the gay community, bars have been a community center, and so a lot of people have good memories. And now he's creating these t-shirts and other apparel with basically retro logos.
Very nice.
Really cool. And so he was just one of the others, which I'll see if I'll probably interview him. But he does quite a bit of business in collectibles, which I think is bullshit. But
I know, but that's where all the money
people
is.
buy them.
Yeah, margins are incredibly high.
Yeah,
okay, because it costs nothing. So,
and he's the one who directly asked me 3 weeks ago if I had a shop, because he was wanting to market throughout Bureau.
yeah, look, what I would love to do is Anonbinary is a store. It's like a curated store. It's anonymous if you want it to be, or it's just a non-binary, right? And it's for everyone. It's we support the whole thing. We have a curated, like yourself maybe, and a team of people, and we can invite people, and it's not just in America but over time everywhere in the world, right? So we basically have this curated market, and happy to plug that into Out Bureau. By the way, we can inject it. By the way, you can turn this on into yours in your site. You can actually literally power it on your site. It's quite easy to do that. I don't know what technology you guys are on, but if it's like WordPress or something, it's trivial to.
Yeah, it is. My site is currently WordPress.
Yeah, so we'll be like literally be able to trivially drop it in there. You'll have a market inside your store, okay? Or you can choose to do it differently. I mean, depending on how much you can customize it, is what I'm saying. Basically, it's all totally headless. This everything I showed you is the API driven thing. This is the back end, what you're seeing.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so it can look and feel like anything. Like Veed is a look and feel, and then I think let me show you. There's this in India. We just launched with these. It's like an Avon lady model. They have 25 million women, growing at like 1 million women a month, and they're just launching with us. Yeah, they're in pilot. They call it. It's called Sheroes, like heroes. That's their thing. That's the network. Like it's growing quite large. Started in India. It's quite cool. I'll introduce you to Saidi. She's a dear friend of mine. But she's launching this thing called, it's called Shiko. She-commerce, Shiko, and so Shiko for you, and so all these brands, and it's like these women are basically going to be able to sell to their communities and make, like I said, 30-40%. And these people are asking all these brands, minimum 50% margins, because Sheroes, these guys keep 15%. Okay. Like I said, we keep 5. So then they give the remaining 30 to their audience. And by the way, if the audience doesn't earn out the whole amount, 30, let's say they earn out only 25 on average, that remaining 5 also comes to Sheroes. So it'll come to you, Out Bureau.
Oh, okay.
So any amount that you don't pay, right? It's like you are a co-seller, and then your network is your co-seller. Everyone is a co-seller to somebody else. Right? So if that person comes to you direct, you keep the whole amount.
Okay.
Right? So it's just a very simple thing. The internet itself is so between you and me, like you said, it's very difficult to come up with something unique.
Mhm.
You know?
Well, what I like about this is one is, my whole site is about entrepreneurialism
Yeah.
and being able to support entrepreneurs who offer products, but then also enable people to create an income even as a side gig,
Correct.
just promoting now and then. And
I'll send you a list of reading material, but on the
Okay.
blog, okay, there is a ton of, there's a lot of technical stuff which you may or may not be interested in, and you should read it because I know you'll understand it and enjoy it. But the easier part that you should tell others is how they can make money with us, right? And I'll send you a few, like how to launch an Awake network. If you read this really quick, or I'll show you a few more um, that are about making money with us, right? Like, disruptors wanted, we're looking for entrepreneurs, the Awake co-seller program, right? These are also, straight up, you can see how you can make money. What is an Awake network? It's media power, driven, community powered, right? Has a secret formula. Any industry vertical, you get a community, content, commerce, right?
Okay.
Wherever, jobs, right? You can start promoting because we're literally hiring. These are all jobs, right? The future of jobs, right? And youth exchange, you can bring in interns, you can bring in, you can bring in everybody. We can create leaderboards. Who's doing the best? You can turn this into a game. Out Bureau,
Oh, cool.
right? So this is global, right? And so that's what we do. This is how it works. And if you read through, and there's a ton of material, Shiva has launched them in some 9 countries now. He's leading this effort globally, so that's why we reached out. But you are perfectly suited to become a node in our network to drive this crazy stuff across your large community. And now it will start growing crazy because you'll see that you're telling them a real solution they're looking for. Everyone's looking for jobs now. Everyone's looking for money. Everyone's looking for, what the hell's going to happen, right?
Yeah. Very interesting.
And Anonbinary is our own brand. We'd love to collaborate on that one.
Okay.
Huh. You mean, so you guys actually also create products?
We create brands. Brands don't need to be products.
Okay.
Brands are a symbol of trust and quality, which means that when you buy something on a non-binary, it is a curated network of very good products and people. And therefore, when you come to a non-binary to become a member, like Costco or any other club that you might like, you become a member of a curated network of products and services and businesses and, media that it's a curated list. So you're paying for that curation, even if it's $9 a month or whatever it is. You get deals, you get cashbacks, you get, access, you get good products, right? And information, material, all that stuff. A non-binary, right? It's a community. You get support groups, you get the works.
Very interesting.
So we are about the network. That's the brand. The brand is the network. You see, Facebook is the world's biggest e-commerce company without being one, biggest media company without being one, right? Because that's the brand. The brand is, why do you go there? And everybody goes there and does their own thing. And what we do is we don't take everybody's money like them. We just take 5% after the fact, and everybody gets to keep 95% of what they do there.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So in the non-binary case, we can do like I'm looking for leadership, in each of these companies. Like Veer is its own company, and Spiritful is its own company, and ShopType and Awake Money and all these companies are all their own. We have over 30 companies going to about 100 plus companies in 2 quarters around the world. So a non-binary, we have a way for you to not just do your own stuff. We'll partner with you, do that. But I'd love for you, if you would like it, to, we're creating this founding team for a non-binary. I'm wondering if you might have the interest to get involved in that.
I think so. Would want to know, obviously want to know a little bit more. But yeah, I do see this as a good fit. And
So this
in
link I
line
just
in
sent
line
you,
with my mission.
yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the main thing that I could feel when you came on the video instantly, the vibe. But if you look at this link I just sent you, it's called org type, how we are creating these organizations around the world in a network model, which is what we are. And you'll be able to see how you could fit in as an A1, A2, or an A3. You'll see it. These are allocation levels for people involved in our projects and companies. So as you go through that, you'll get a sense of how we're structuring the companies and so on and so forth, and what a non-binary the opportunity is. I think the non-binary opportunity is a global market network for the best indie products and services in the LGBTQ community, driven by entrepreneurs and supporters, allies like us, and folks like you who are entrepreneurial enough to drive massive global communities.
Well, that's what I'm striving to do.
Yeah, so I mean, we can totally collaborate on this. That's what Shiva's. So Shiva is he runs Awake Global. So Awake Global is a network, again, like a network of people. So he's connected us to like 9 countries that are now operational, right, including Brazil, South America, South Africa, Nigeria, South Korea, Poland, UK. Not UK was before, but there's like 20 more countries coming up, with through Shiva's global network. So it's a network of networks, and everybody benefits by being a part of the node. And early, of course, is better, right? But it's
Right.
not. There's no center to these things. So in other words, even if you do come in early and make hundreds of millions of dollars now, somebody else could make $1 billion tomorrow because they provide more value than you, even in the LGBTQ space. So this is the ultimate democratization engine. You just keep providing value, you can go wherever you want.
Okay.
Right? As opposed to the current feudal system that is, you got to work with the feudal overlords, or you can't do anything, even though you're connected to 50,000 people around the world. It's ridiculous.
Right. Well, and that's why that was one of the impetuses really for me to launch my own site is, with all of the work that I've done on LinkedIn, I don't control the platform. I can't monetize the platform, and I have very little capabilities unless I pay LinkedIn, and then it's still pretty limited.
Yeah, so that's called extraction. It's absurd. I can't accept that.
Yeah. Well,
so that's what this is.
Yeah, very, very, very interesting. I'm quite interested, guys.
Cool. I'd love for you to watch. If you go to the website, I'll just send you one more link. This is our little interview kind of a thing. We don't do it well. I'm sure you're much better at it. This is our little, because we do it ourselves, So, but this is, it's linked from the main site as well. But it's an interview series with a bunch of entrepreneurs and investors. This most recent episode is an investor of ours, but the others are in different verticals and different businesses. Maybe you'll have a chance to see it. But we'd love to do one with you like this about, the LGBTQ vertical and the community needs and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah, and then as we go forward, it's a community driven enterprise. We tell people what we're doing, we explain it, and have them join us so we can all do more together.
Gotcha.
Very good.
Well, yeah, well, and that's where too, it's very in line with what I'm doing or striving to do.
Yeah.
So based on community, based on entrepreneurialism, and not only myself making money, but having the ability for others to participate. I think it's a good fit, guys.
Yeah, thank you for saying so. I'm very excited to. Let's move forward. We're ready to go. You guys, you have a community. You've got a website, whatever it is. We'll get this thing rolling in the next few days. I think next week we should be in pilot.
Okay.
You tell me what you would like to launch. Maybe a T-shirt, maybe an Out Bureau T-shirt, or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could certainly start with something like that.
The sky is the limit. You don't have to answer now, but you decide.
Yeah.
You can put anything. Talk to your friends, the best products. Get 20, 30, 40 nice, beautiful products that we can do special, whatever. So they will market it. You see, they want to market it, These brands, they will come to you and they will pay you to market it because you have the reach, right? So the service is going to include that. So these first few brands will get a deal, you'll give them 50% off or, whatever, but this is how you start the engine.
Okay. Well, very cool. So I'll start going through these links. I've copied them so that I have them
Cool.
outside of the Zoom meeting.
Yep. One more link for you.
Okay.
This may not fully apply, but it has a lot of other links which are there. So it's like a meta link.
I was
Okay.
about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you guys could send me over via email any kinds of agreements or whatever that I need to start looking at.
Sure.
We will do
Shiva
that.
has the full pack there.
Good.
We
Good.
have all
Good.
the-
Yeah, I have a past contracting. I'm not an attorney, but I used to be a certified contracts manager because I used to help these large Fortune 100 with their software agreements
Ah.
and renegotiating them. And so
Well,
yes,
in ours, there's
I
no
actually
payments right
read
now.
everything.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
So we'll
people.
send you, the material, and Shiva is the man for that.
Okay.
All the paperwork and everything else. Good news is we don't charge anything upfront, right? So there's no
Right.
money involved. But
Yeah.
go through it in detail.
Well, and again, I think that's where, as I start marketing this out, I think that's where adoption will be great because there is no upfront cost.
Yep.
For
In
people to
fact, we will run
participate.
with you together and with others. We're starting to do this campaign. We're calling it zero cost marketing.
Hmm.
We just call it zero cost marketing, and it works.
Well, that's a nice buzz term.
Yeah. So we create a buzz term.
Yeah. Awesome.
In fact,
Okay.
somebody coined a word called Zubuma. They said it, zero budget marketing.
Yeah, but because we didn't coin that one, we'll call it zero cost.
Yeah,
Okay.
zero cost marketing. That's pretty damn. I like that.
Yeah, zero cost marketing. So we have a URL too, zerocost.marketing. We'll set it up. It'll be a whole hashtag campaign, and we can kick this off.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. Quite interested in this, guys.
Thank you. I think that with the power of our joined communities, from us on the technology side, payment side, AI side, and you guys with the reach into human community, human entrepreneurship community, we can blast this off. I mean, this is a fusion reaction, not a fission reaction, because we fuse everything. Not fission is like what they've done. They've split the internet into pieces. We're doing a fusion reaction.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, great. Well, I've got these now copied, so I have them.
Thank you.
After the
We'll be in touch.
meeting.
So Shiva will coordinate the next one.
I'll coordinate the whole thing. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, great. Thank you so much for your guys' time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Have a nice day.